Welcome to downtown Phoenix and Talking Stick Resort Arena, where tonight 2 of the IFL's 4 remaining undefeated teams will square off. Both the Arizona Rattlers and Tucson Sugar Skulls come into tonight's contest with records of 2-0. And hello everybody, Chris Harris here along with Arizona Rattlers Ring of Honor member Randy Gaywin. Randy, what a matchup we have here tonight. Not only 2 of the top teams in the IFL, but also the start of an intrastate rivalry between the Rattlers and the Sugar Skulls.
Chris, who doesn't like a good rivalry? Kevin Guy is the owner of this Sugar Skulls team tonight, and we all know how competitive he is. So he's going to do everything in his power to win this game tonight.
Now, offensively, the Rattlers lead the league with 66 points per game, and one of the reasons for that has been the outstanding play of their running back, Jabri Lawley.
Jabri Lawley is off to a great start. He's tough, he's physical, he's serious about his work ethic. We talked to Coach Guy, and he just absolutely loves him. He thinks that he's going to have a lot of success. 175 yards, 7 TDs on the season already, averaging 87.5 yards per game. Look for him to pick up where he left off a couple of weeks ago.
Now, defensively, the Rattlers suffered a major loss in their last game when Josh Gordon went down with a season-ending injury. Now, Gordon, he leads the IFL with 5 sacks. So defensively for Arizona, they're going to have a tough time slowing down the Sugar Skulls offense led by their quarterback, Matt Barrett.
Matt Barron is a guy who stepped in this year, and he's been very successful. He has his Sugar Skulls team off to a great start. He's completed 19 of 34 attempts for 243 yards and 8 touchdowns last game, earning him IFL Player of the Week. Question is he up for the challenge facing a very good Rattlers defense, which leads the league in sacks and INTs? There's only one way to find out, and here we go.
All right, when we come back, we'll have the kickoff between the Arizona Rattlers and the Tucson Sugar Skulls. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Rattlers football on the Phoenix CW. Rattlers are brought to you by Santan Ford. At Santan Ford, it's all about you. And here we go in the snake pit. The start of the Arizona rivalry between the Rattlers and the Tucson Sugar Skulls. Now take a quick look at our keys to tonight's game, Randy.
Keys to tonight's game, Chris. First, the Rattlers must establish themselves on the line of scrimmage. Offensive line has to control play like they've done. They also want to speed up the tempo tonight. Make the Sugar Skulls really have to work tonight, see if their conditioning is ready for the second game of the year. Last, stops and turnovers. Rattlers defense versus this Sugar Skulls high-powered offense. They have to get some stops and turnovers tonight.
All right, we're all set for kickoff here. Jimmy Camacho will get things going his first year with the Rattlers. And this was another key that Kevin Guy talked about, was the kickoff coverage and kickoff return field position. He felt was going to be a big part of this game as well.
It's going to be a huge part because when you look at both of these offenses, as good as they are, the defenses are just as good and they complement each other very well. So tonight, it's going to be a defensive battle. And he mentioned how the Sugar Skulls have 3 of their 4 interior guys who were all league last year. So it's a challenge for the Rattlers tonight as well as the Sugar Skulls tonight.
2 of the 4 remaining undefeated teams in the IFL, the Rattlers and the Sugar Skulls. The start of a new rivalry here for Arizona. And we are underway. A short kick by Camacho can be handled at the goal line. And the return for the Sugar Skulls, number 23, D. Magic Jr. with the returns. We take a look at the Arizona Rattlers defense as they come onto the field. We mentioned earlier, Josh Gordon suffered that season-ending injury 2 weeks ago against Cedar Rapids. So we'll see how this defense is able to fill his hole.
Yeah, you can't replace Josh Gordon either. You know, he was dominant, you know, a force inside. But the Rattlers KG, he does a great job of finding guys who, the next guy up, he steps right up and he's able to fulfill it. So let's see how they do tonight.
Sugar Skulls with the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 12. Matt Barrett at quarterback, plenty of time, down the sideline, broken up. Bubba Chapman came over and maybe should have come up with the interception there.
That ball absolutely should have been intercepted. Just a total lack of concentration at that particular time. That ball absolutely should have been intercepted. Rattlers should have had their first turnover, which is what we talked about in the open keys to the game, had a chance to get one early on. So Chapman's got to come up with that ball.
And we take a look at that Tucson Sugar Skulls offense led by the quarterback, Matt Barrett, the reigning IFL Offensive Player of the Week. 8 touchdowns in last week's home opener against Bismarck. Pitch to the left side, gets knocked into the dasher boards with the carry. Looks like it was Brandon Sampson. In on the tackle, Philip Henry.
A little change up then, just to try to go out and get half. They were in 2nd and long. As you can see, they were only trying to get half, come up with a 3rd short. Brandon Sampson out of Midwestern State, which is located in my hometown of Wichita Falls. So it's good to see some, you know, some guys who played in that city understand exactly what Wichita Falls is, Chris.
Representing Mr. Gatewood.
Oh, yeah.
3rd and 4. First down for Tucson. Moving the chains after getting the catch right there. Donovan Raspberry. First down for the Sugar Skulls.
Pretty good coverage by Chapman. Was able to close very well. Matt Barrett was able to get that ball out really quick. Donovan Raspberry was able to get the first down.
1st and 10, Tucson from their own 24. Barrett's going to keep it. Picks up a couple, and that was one of the things that Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy talked about with Matt Barrett was his mobility, and KG is very familiar with Barrett because he was in Rattlers training camp for the first couple of weeks. They had to release him because they got Jeff Ziamba and Verlon Reed. They're so deep at that position, and Tucson picked him right up, and he's played very well for this Sugar Skulls team. Pitch to the right side. Getting thrown to the ground. Number 8 for Tucson, Mike Jones.
You know, we talked about tempo early on. It looked like Tucson Sugar Skulls is really trying to work on the tempo for Arizona Rattlers as well. Like, they're getting these plays off with a lot of time still left on the play clock, and the sense of urgency that they have right now is what Kevin Guy talked about the Rattlers needed to play with to try to wear down the Sugar Skulls offense.
Another 3rd down here, 3rd and 4 from the Rattlers' 20-yard line. Barrett hands it off, 1st down and more for Tucson. Inside the 10, it'll be 1st and goal for the Sugar Skulls. Big conversion there in 3rd down.
Mike Jones with a burst of speed up the middle, and here's that tempo again, no huddle. Durant's already at the line of scrimmage, ready to go.
1st and goal, Sugar Skulls from the 8. Barrett's gonna keep it, working the left side, gets brought down in to make the tackle for the Rattlers is the MAC linebacker, Ricky Wyatt Jr.
We'll mention his name quite a bit tonight.
Oh yeah.
Ricky Wyatt Jr. is all over the field, so he will be all over the place making tackles tonight. Once again, that tempo, man, they are after it tonight.
2nd and goal from the 6. Barrett's gonna keep it. And you said we're going to mention his name a few times. There's that man once again, Ricky Wyatt Jr.
You know, and it seemed like there was a little bit of confusion in the backfield that time from the Sugar Skulls offense. Rattlers were able to, everybody was able to come in, and as you can see, Ricky Watts cleans him up, along with Merriweather and a couple of other hosts of Rattlers on the tackle.
Ricky Wyatt Jr. out of Central Arkansas, 6', 235, second on the team with 15 tackles for the season. Another big third down here. This time it's 3rd and goal from the 7. Barrett has time, lets it fly through the back of the end zone. And that Rattlers defense comes up with a stop on 3rd down. Let's see what Tucson Sugar Skulls head coach Marcus Coleman decides to do. If he's going to kick the field goal or go for it. Looks like the field goal unit's coming out.
Field goal unit's coming on. Very good job by Dylan Winfrey that time with being able to force him into the linebackers, get a little bit of help. Durant had nowhere to go with the football.
So Diego Marquez, the kicker from Miami, comes on. The ball's going to be set at the 13. It'll be a 21-yard field goal attempt. The end zones are 8 yards in the IFL. Marquez. And it is no good, wide right. No good. So with 9:27 remaining in the opening quarter, we are scoreless between the Rattlers and the Sugar Skulls. Welcome back to the Snake Pit, everybody. 9:27 remaining in the opening quarter. The first ever game between the Arizona Rattlers and Tucson Sugar Skulls. And it's the Rattlers defense stepping up first.
It's just like we talked about, like being able to get a stop on an opening drive, that sets you up now to go up by a touchdown and steal a possession. And I know Kevin Guy stressed that to us as we talked to him. And what a great way to go out and do it versus one of the top offenses in the league.
So the Rattlers offense taking the field for the first time. And it'll be Verlon Reed settling in at quarterback for Arizona. Starting for the second straight game. Jeff Ziemba started the season opener. Reed with the keeper. And he gets brought down, nowhere to go.
Great job by D. Magid Jr. on the tackle. Wanted to make sure I had that pronunciation correct.
You nailed it.
You know?
Been working on it. I know.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know Kevin Guy, one of the keys here, you mentioned it early on, is the matchup between Arizona's offensive line and Tucson's defensive line. Rattlers got to win the line of scrimmage there. Iowa's got some all-IFL performers from last season. I mean, Tucson, check that, they came over from Iowa. As that pass falls incomplete, in and out of the hands of Jamal Miles.
Yeah, he was wide open that time. A little lack of concentration tonight. You know, as you can see, we Epps isn't in the lineup. Amos is not in the lineup. So a few changes tonight. The timing, chemistry is still a little off from Berlon Reed to some of the new guys. But hopefully they can get that fixed and get it going.
And look at that Sugar Skulls defense. Keith Jones Jr., first team All-IFL last season, as well as Zachary Allen, both of them with Iowa. And that is where Tucson's head coach came from. Marcus Coleman was the defensive coordinator for the Barnstormers the last 2 seasons. So he brought those 2 players down to Tucson with him as Verlon Reed takes a shot down the right side. Incomplete. No penalty flag. Great defense there by Micah Eugene Jr.
Great coverage there. Micah Eugene Jr. out of LSU. Verlon needed to throw that ball over the top, needed to put a little bit more on it, slightly underthrown it, and Micah Eugene was able to make a play on the ball. So it looks like they've got to stop on their first position and forcing a very long field goal.
Yes, I would say kicking from your own end zone is a very long field goal. It's going to be about, let's see, 58, about 60 yards. They're about 2 yards deep into the end zone. Jimmy Camacho knocks it through the back of the end zone. And with 7:21 remaining here in the first quarter, we're going to step aside for a quick break. We are scoreless between Tucson and Arizona. Welcome back, everybody. Rattlers and Sugar Skulls. Take a look at the tail of the tape and some of the numbers from the season. We expect a little offensive explosion here tonight looking at the numbers, but it's been the defensive side early on.
Yeah, we kind of expected a little bit of both tonight, but, you know, we've got a long way to go. We'll see what happens. At some point, I feel like one of these teams is going to get hot and they're going to get it going.
So both these teams strong, not only offensively, but defensively as well. Rattlers second in scoring defense, allowing just 29 points a game. Barrett's going to keep it, working that left side, cuts it back in. Finally gets dropped, but a pickup of about 7. In on the tackle, Dylan Winfrey, along with Devin Cockrell.
Takes a big hit, too, from Cockrell. But he ran for 72 yards last week on 10 carries, so he will tuck the ball down and take off with no problem. Not afraid to run.
Barrett played previous 2 seasons with Green Bay, and again, he took part of Rattlers training camp here for a couple of weeks before being released and having success in Tucson. Pitch to the right side. Nice pickup there by Sampson before getting knocked into the dasher boards.
Brandon Sampson again, that's the second time they've ran that play. And look at Matt communicate to the line of scrimmage, no huddle, and the Rattlers look a little bit out of sync right now defensively.
1st and 10, Tucson from their own 21. Handoff up the middle, big pickup. Sugar Skulls with the carry for the big pickup is number 8, Mike Jones.
Mike Jones, a great run that time, and they're back at the line of scrimmage. I can't stress it enough.
That up-tempo seems to be working against this Rattlers defense. Barrett keeping it again up the middle. Inside the 5, down to the 3.
You know, the one thing that Kevin Guy was trying to do to Sugar Skulls is they've turned around and kind of given him a taste of his own medicine, and they look a little bit out of sync defensively right now.
Second down and goal from the 4. Barrett pitch right, not much room to work with it, cut it back inside. Pickup of about 1 on the play for Jones.
Great job of Nick Diavanzo making him cut it back in so the troops in the pursuit could get there. Red zone, toughest place to score here because everything is so compact. Rattlers did a great job of pursuit that time to get into the football.
Rattlers defense got to stop in the red zone on Tucson's first possession. Let's see if they can get another one here. 3rd and goal from about the 2. Three receivers split to the left. Now they go in motion. Barrett takes the snap, hands it off, left side, touchdown, Sugar Skulls. And in for the score is Mike Jones, his 3rd touchdown of the season.
Got a little read option here. Barrett reads the end and decides to hand it to him. No one accounts for Mike Jones. He's able to put the ball in the end zone for his first touchdown tonight.
Marquez on for the extra point. And it is good. With 4:11 remaining here in the first quarter, the Sugar Skulls strike first. They lead 7-0. Welcome back, everybody. Talking Stick Resort Arena. Chris Harris here, along with Randy Gatewood. Sugar Skulls with a quick 7-0 lead. And Randy, we were just talking about it again during the break. Just this no-huddle, hurry-up offense here by Tucson's really seems to be effective against Arizona.
Oh, it's absolutely creating some problems for them right now. They seem a little bit out of sync, a little bit out of whack right now, but this is the first time I've ever seen up-tempo of someone going like this fast. So, but you can best believe that KG, he's got some ideas, and his mind is working right now on how to slow it down. So look for them to make some changes and see if they can't get back to playing how they're capable of playing on defense.
Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy, so good at making in-game adjustments. Marquez to kick it away. On the return, Desmond Epps. And before he can get a head of steam going, gets knocked out of bounds into the boards.
Every time he touches the ball, Chris, I'm like, uh-oh, okay? Because he can go in any moment, any second, he can take off, and all he needs is a little tiny window to take it all the way. Amazing speed. This guy's absolutely electric with the ball in his hands.
Doesn't take much time either.
No, not at all. blazing fast.
Reed goes under center. 1st and 10 for the Rattlers from the 17. Handoff right side, Jabri Lawley. It's going to be a pickup of about 4 for Lawley. And when we talked to Rattlers head coach Kevin Guys, there's a penalty flag down. He couldn't speak high enough about Jabri Lawley, just the professional he is and how he works at his craft. He runs so hard, such a physical player.
Yeah, he's the epitome of guys that Kevin Guy wants to go out and recruit for the Rattlers.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 21 with a non-football act is first of the game. Half the distance to the goal, the down counts. It's 2nd down.
They always catch the second one, you know. That time, you know, Robert Metz kind of gave Jabri Lawley a little push, and Jabri gave it back to him. And, of course, the second guy always gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Never be the second guy. And Robert Metz, by the way, the linebacker at Dixie State, played his high school football at Canyon del Oro.
Wow. Down
south in Oro Valley, just north of Tucson. Reed sets up, fires, passes complete. Great looking throw and catch made by Jared Harrington, hauling it in.
Another guy that's electric with the ball in his hand, has a lot of speed, you know, makes plays, special teams as well. Sits down in the zone, goes up and gets the ball before they can sandwich him in there. Great job of holding on to the ball, though.
Harrington out of Campbellsville University. It's his 5th catch of the season. 3rd down. Reed completes. 1st down. Epps down the sidelines. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Rattlers. Desmond Epps with the 26-yard grab and go for the score.
Doesn't take long. One little gap, and he's off to the run, off to the races. Catches a short hitch route here, as you see. Sits down, spins out of it, able to break one tackle, and takes off. Makes a cut right there at the 5, and after that, you're not going to get him.
Desmond Epps, his 2nd touchdown catch of the season. Camacho on for the extra point to try to tie this one up. And he does. 2:02 remaining opening quarter. Desmond Epps with the touchdown. We're tied at 7. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are tied at 7. 2 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Kevin Guy getting his troops all fired up. The winningest coach in franchise history in his 11th season leading this team. He's done a terrific job. He's won 4 league championships during his time here with Arizona.
Yeah, what a great job him and, of course, Ron Schertz has done of really kind of going out and showing these other teams and paving the way on how good, you know, an organization should be and how it should be ran. Ron gives them all the tools, and KG does a great job of going out and finding talent, guys who are versatile, guys who really buy into the system. And he loses guys go play for other teams, and they still tend to just roll on every year. And it's just a testament of how good he is as a coach and what he's able to do.
Camacho kicks it deep. Good looking kick. Here comes the coverage for the Rattlers. Beautiful coverage there by Arizona. Jared Harrington in on the tackle. And they stop the Sugar Squirrels inside their own 5. We take a look at the officials for tonight. The referee, Reed Brotherton. The umpire, Todd Evans. The head linesman, Mark Warner. The line judge, David Ross. And the back judge, Johnny Price. And here come the Sugar Skulls. They've done a great job of moving the ball in this Rattlers defense in the opening quarter.
I don't think they're going to stop what they did earlier. I think they're going to go back to this up-tempo, read option. The Rattlers are having some issues with it, so why not continue to work with it?
First down, Tucson. They begin from their own 4. Barrett has time, delivers, right sideline, just overthrows the intended receiver. Shaquan Currington out of Washington State.
Shaquan Currington tried to run a double move on Dylan Winfrey that time. Winfrey does a great job of not jumping it too hard and is able to recover and have very good coverage on him that time.
Currington, he's been, we'll call it efficient for Tucson. 6 catches on the season, 5 of them for touchdowns.
All he does is catch touchdowns.
And that was Buddy Ryan talking about Chris Carter back during the Philadelphia Eagle days.
Chris Carter, one of my favorite receivers back in the day. People said he was too slow, he wasn't fast enough, wasn't big enough, and he went on to have a really good career. So
a Hall of Fame career.
Absolutely.
2nd and 10. And Barrett gets brought down. There was actually a penalty that pushed the ball back a couple of yards, but in on the tackle, his first action of the season, the defensive end, Chris Mcallister.
Chris Mcallister out of Baylor. Baylor's all-time sack leader was able to corral Barrett that time for no gain. Actually a loss of 1 yard.
So Mcallister taking over for Josh Gordon. Mcallister, an all-IFL performer last season. 3rd down, Barrett incomplete. Bubba Chapman in on the coverage. Great job by that Rattlers defense. And now it's going to bring up 3rd down for the Rattlers.
I'm not sure what's going on with the Sugar Skulls right now. Like what was working last drive, you're not doing it now. Now you're huddling up. You're giving Arizona a time to adjust, to think, and to see what's going on, and they're doing a pretty good job of stopping them now.
And we are through 1 quarter here at the Snake Pit in the first ever game between the Arizona Rattlers and Tucson Sugar Skulls, and we are tied at 7. We'll be right back with quarter number 2 when we come back on the Phoenix EW. The Arizona Rattlers are brought to you by Papa John's. When we win, you win. The day after every Rattlers win, you'll receive 50% off all online pizza orders and all copy products. Your one-stop shop for workplace solutions and the official office solutions provider of your Arizona Rattlers. And by Santan Ford. At Santan Ford, it's all about you. And Miller Lite. Great tasting, less filling beer. It's Miller time. As we get set for quarter number 2 here in the Snake Pit. Sugar Skulls with the ball from their own 3-yard line. 3rd down and about 11. Barrett takes the snap from his own end zone, rolls to the right, delivers, has his receiver. And looks like they're going to mark him just short of the 1st down, and that's Donovan Raspberry. So that'll bring up 4th down in about 1.
Yeah, I believe his knee did go down. He did a really good job of escaping the tackle, but the knee did hit. Referee was right on the spot there and was able to stop him. Now they're going to try a long field goal again.
So that will bring out Diego Marquez. Just a 21-yarder in the 1st quarter. This one is blocked. Ball is loose. Touchdown, Rattlers. Dylan Winfrey recovers the block kick in the end zone. Arizona touchdown. Take a look at the replay. And it was Nick Diavanzo, his 2nd block kick of the season. This one results in a touchdown.
Great job of penetration, was able to get in, make the block, scooped up by Dylan Winfrey. Another stop, 2 so far this game, which is one of the keys for victory for Arizona tonight. So I know Kevin Guy's got to be happy about that. Great job of special teams.
Extra point by Camacho. It is up and it is good. A big special teams touchdown gives the Rattlers the 14-7 lead. We'll be right back. When we talked to Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy, he said special teams was making an impact on this game here tonight.
Yeah, and sure enough, Nick Diavanzo was able to penetrate that time, lay out, make the block, and Dylan Winfrey, is Johnny on the spot, is able to scoop and score. What a great play. Anytime you can get a touchdown special teams, that just adds to it.
And Diavanzo, he had a block kick in the game 2 weeks ago against Cedar Rapids. Another big one here, and we got penalty flags flying from every direction on this kickoff return by Magid. Let's see what the penalty flags are for. Or the penalty flags, they're coming from every direction.
There's been quite a few of them actually so far tonight. I mean, I know what I think it is, but I don't want to speculate, you know.
No speculation up here?
At least not yet, not yet.
During the return, holding number 6 of the receiving team, half the distance to the goal, it's first down.
Is that what you thought the penalty was?
Of course. Well, of course, absolutely, yeah.
And you had that on Brandon Sampson, huh?
Absolutely,
Okay.
without a doubt, without a doubt.
So they'll bring the ball back to the 8-yard line. That's where Matt Barron and the Sugar Skulls offense will start from.
Let's see if they get back to the up-tempo, everything they did in the first quarter that got them in position to score the first touchdown.
Barron's going to keep it up the middle, and he gets dropped. Ball is loose. Recovered by Arizona. It was Devontae Merriweather with the hit, and how about big Lance McDowdell with the recovery?
Big hit, huge hit from Devontae Merriweather as he comes in right on the ball too. Boom, jars that football loose. Big Lance is right on the spot. I was thinking he might scoop that and score. We never get to see the big guys in the end zone, so it would have been nice to see him celebrate.
How about the M&M boys, Merriweather and McDowdell? And there is that Rattlers defense. You touched on at the top of the broadcast, Randy. Got to find a way to get some stops, get some turnovers. They just did it right there. Let's see if they can punch it in.
Absolutely, third stop already in this game.
First and goal from the 7. Lolly, right side. Gets brought down at about the 3.
I think you're going to get a heavy dose of Jabri Lolly right now. You know, they didn't get a chance to feature him much in the first quarter, but I know he's going to get a heavy dose of him right here.
Let's see what Coach Guy dials up, sends in the play with Verlon Reed. Reed, a home run hitter, carrying the ball as well, always a threat when he's got his hands on it.
Oh, yeah. He took 144 yards last game, and it was absolutely amazing.
Second and goal from the 3. Reed keeps it right side. Touchdown, Rattlers. Verlon Reed from 3 yards out. His 4th touchdown run of the season.
What a great play call, too. Empty the backfield, put him in shotgun. Jabri Lolly's out there as a lead blocker. He could take his pick on where he wants to go. Great call. Great play, great call by Coach Guy that time.
And how about the Rattlers getting the turnover, turn it into a touchdown. Camacho, extra points. And it is good. So it's Verlon Reed calling his own number. Gets the touchdown. Rattlers lead 21-7. It was the Rattlers defense coming up with the big turnover, and then offensively they were able to cash it into a touchdown.
Huge hit by Devontae Merriweather, was able to jar that football loose. Lance McDowell, a great job. And as you can see, he had a little read option, but that's a formation that the Rattlers have not used much this year. Empty backfield shotgun, great play call.
21-7, Rattlers with the lead. 11.5 minutes remaining here, first half. Penalty flag is down, as is the returner, Magid, for Tucson. Let's see what the penalty flag is for.
What a great job of coverage, though. Anytime you can get inside the 10, even almost inside the 5, great job.
During the return, personal foul, hands in the face, kicking team number 36. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
So the coverage was great by the Rattlers, but the penalty against Philip Henry is going to tack 15 yards onto the return.
Sugar Skulls catch a break because they were backed up again, and they haven't seemed to get anything going since the first quarter.
Even with that penalty, special teams coach Jeff Jarnigan's got to be happy with the way his coverage team has played here tonight so far.
Absolutely.
So Sugar Skulls will have the ball from their own 21. Barrett fires in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. And that is Brown, was the intended receiver, Jared Brown.
Great throw by Barrett. He's got to be able to make that catch. That's football 101 right there.
If it hits your hand, you're supposed to catch it, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, he's wearing gloves. I say take his gloves off, you know. Or get him some gloves, one of the two.
And again, Randy, Tucson has gotten away from that hurry-up offense, and it's slowed them down. Barrett fires complete. And that's Philip Henry in on the tackle for the Rattlers on Donovan Raspberry.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's what Arizona's done or if it's what Tucson has done, but they're not the same team they were in the first quarter right now. And Arizona has turned up the energy. They've turned up the heat a little bit defensively. Barrett doesn't have a lot of time to sit back there, but I'm not sure what's going on, what the mentality is right now from the Sugar Skulls from an offensive standpoint.
Well, it's going to bring out third down, 3rd and 3 for Tucson at the Arizona 22. In on the blitz is Wyatt Jr. Barrett able to escape it for now, but finally gets knocked into the board short of the first down. In on the tackle, making the plays, Chris Mcallister.
What a great defensive play call, though. He's able to come clean. Ricky Wyatt Jr. is able to come clean up the middle. Barrett is able to escape him. A great move of spinning out of it. Still short of the first down, but what a great play call defensively to isolate Ricky Wyatt and have him come absolutely free.
And that's going to bring up a 4th down and 3 for the Sugar Skulls. Barrett fires middle of the field. The catch is made. First down, Tucson. Donovan Raspberry moving the chains for the Sugar Skulls.
Great coverage by Bubba Chapman that time as well. Oh, really? Look what they're doing now.
Now they're going up tempo.
Okay, all right. I guess we do know a little bit about football, you know, Chris.
Barrett's going to keep it. Left side, room to run. Touchdown, Tucson. Matt Barrett calls his own number, the 16-yard scamper for the score.
He can run the football. He had 10 carries last week for 72 yards, and you give him some space, and what they do is they create and run this little read option. He reads Mcallister. Mcallister overruns it, and he takes off and is able to get the touchdown. Great job that time by Matt Barrett. They had me worried a little bit as far as offensively, like, is this what you're going to do?
Marquez, the extra point, it is up and it is good. 7:53 remaining first half. Barrett with the touchdown run. Rattlers still with the lead, 21-14. Welcome back, everybody. Well, the Black Lightning season finale is coming up this Monday at 9 o'clock, 8 Central on your Phoenix CW. Make sure you tune into that. Glad you're tuned in right now. 7:53 remaining first half. First game ever between Arizona and Tucson. Rattlers with the 21-14 lead. Marquez kicks it away. It's going to be Epps with the return. Looking for room, left side. Nice spin move. Gets knocked out of bounds, the official says. They're going to mark him at about the 20-yard line. You just come out of the edge of your seat as soon as you see him get going.
Absolutely. He is one of my favorite players to watch. And it's not just because he's wearing number 17, but the guy is electric. Like, he should have been down right there, and he's able to spin out of it and get an extra 10 yards. He can run. He is absolutely just fun to watch. He's one of those guys who, when the ball's in his hand, you better be watching because something is going to happen special every time. Now,
the man is wearing number 17 right now. He could outrun the guy who used to wear number 17. Is that right?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. I can't even take any credit. I'm not even going to dispute that.
You're not even
at all.
Go there.
No, without a doubt.
First and 10 Rattlers. Reed drops back. Plenty of time. Fires complete. Harrington, first down, Arizona. Great job, offensive line. Great job by Reed. And Harrington wide open, makes the catch.
Yeah, Harrington is a guy who I believe could have played when I played. He's a two-way guy. Like, he's all over the place. He's special teams. He could probably play some jack or bandit, what they call it, but a great job of finding a hole against that zone, sitting down in there, and Verlon Reed threw a strike right to him as they move the chains.
First and 10 Rattlers from the Sugar Skulls 14. Handoff, Lawley left side, and he gets drilled. Making the tackle for Tucson is going to be Zachary Allen out of Wake Forest. He was a first-team All-IFL performer last year with Iowa, making the big hit here.
Oh, yeah. Look at him come downhill and size him up. Head across. Nothing Jabri Lawley could do about that. Just a great play. Wow.
Pickup of 1 on the play.
You can see why he's first team.
And you can see why Tucson head coach Marcus Coleman brought him over from the Barnstormers. He, along with Keith Jones Jr., Reed. Touchdown, Rattlers. Making the catch, his first touchdown catch of the season, Marcus Sumter.
Great job of accelerating right in the hole. And then Micah Eugene Jr. was just a little late. Verlon threw a number 1 fastball in there that time to him, and he was able to make the catch.
So Marcus Sumter, his first catch of the season is a touchdown. And before we get the extra point attempt, we got whistles on the field.
He's another guy who Kevin Guy spoke highly about as well.
Timeout. Tucson, their first time out of the half.
So the Sugar Skulls call a timeout before the extra point. Maybe didn't have the right personnel on the field, enough players?
I don't know.
Well, while we sit here during the timeout, let's take a look at the updated standings. Again, 4 teams remain unbeaten. On top, Rattlers, Sugar Skulls, followed by the Sioux Falls Storm, and they will be here in 2 weeks to take on the Rattlers. Then you got the Iowa Barnstormers, the defending champions. So it is a stacked group up top, no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah. Could have another matchup that's undefeated next week if Sioux Falls is able to get by Bismarck this week and win their game as well.
So let's try this extra point here one more time.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you would waste the time out on a extra point, but.
And here we go, Camacho. It is up and it is good. So 28-14. Rattlers trailed 7-0. Now lead 28-14. Here's the last touchdown.
Yeah, I call that a number 1 fastball. You know, right in the seam, right before Wyatt Jr. could get there. Just a great throw, great catch. And Sumter's a guy who, as I said earlier, Kevin spoke really high about how he's hungry to get back to work and get back in the mix. And his great hands, runs great routes, bigger body. Just kind of a guy who they haven't had around here like that in a year or so.
And he's a guy who played previously at Sioux Falls. We take a look at some of the numbers from the Rattlers last game a couple of weeks ago against Cedar Rapids. 81 points they put on River Kings.
And they could have very well broke their single season record, I think, which is 85. But Kevin Guy called off the dogs a little bit in that fourth quarter.
But they got it done on both sides of the ball, as you can see with those numbers. They just look sharp.
They did. They look really sharp. And tonight they got off to a little bit of a slow start, but I tell you, they've turned it up a little bit now and created some turnovers and now have a 2-touchdown lead. So Tucson has to get something going quick because you don't want to fall behind this Rattlers team by much. You won't come back against them if that margin gets too big.
And Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy, he likes to put the opposition into chase mode, as he calls it.
Oh, yeah, he feeds off of that.
Penalty flag on the return, 2 of them. And that's going to go against the Sugar Skulls.
Oh, yeah. That was an obvious one there. Look at all the flags.
You see 2 of them right next to one another. It's like a game of cornhole down there. The referees get together to sort it out.
During the return, holding number 6 of the receiving team. 10 yards from the end of the run. Half the distance to the goal.
You mentioned it off the top of the broadcast, Randy, how competitive Coach Guy is. He's going against a team here tonight he is co-owner of. His wife is involved in the ownership group as well. He said there was a little bit of a rivalry week around the guys.
Definitely a little bit, but you know him. If anything, he absolutely wants to win this game tonight, and this will be a conversation that him and Kathy will have, over the next day or two.
Barrett shotgun is going to keep it. Pick up of a couple. And I'll tell you what, Tucson is fortunate to have Kevin Guy as a part of that ownership group because he does such a great job of giving back to the community. He's done it here in Phoenix. He's going to do it in Tucson. He's got the blueprint of what it takes to run an organization. He's just going to be, I think, a perfect fit down in Tucson with the Sugar Skulls and pushing that brand moving forward.
Yeah, he only does things one way, and he always does it right.
Going to be short of a first down. It's going to bring up third down and about 2. And he's gotten the blueprint, too, during his time here in Arizona from the Rattlers owner, Ron Schertz. Ron Schertz has been so successful as an owner for Arizona. And Kevin Guy, he's a sharp man. He picks up on those things.
This Sugar Skulls organization, they're certainly going to emulate this Rattlers organization, and Schertz gave him the blessing to do it.
Big pickup here for the Sugar Skulls. Big conversion on the first down. And with the carry for Tucson is Mike Jones. A big run there by the big running back.
Showing some burst, too. As he takes the pitch, showed a little bit of burst as he cuts and gets up through there. Slips one tackle. Dylan Winfrey was able to bring him down. Well, he went all the way.
Oh, terrific job. Coming out to make the tackle for the loss. Nick Diavanzo, the defensive end from New Mexico.
I really like his energy. I really like the way he plays the game, Chris. Motor continuously, just always running. He's the energy out there, especially now with Josh Gibson gone. He's the guy who sets the tempo on the defensive line.
He had the block kick earlier on, comes up with the tackle for a loss here. A loss of 5. It's going to be second down and 15. Barrett incomplete. It's going to bring up third down and 15. And I want to finish off that thought you just mentioned, Randy. Kevin Guy, he went to Rattlers owner Ron Schertz first. to make sure he got permission to even get involved with bringing a team to Tucson, and that was very important detail.
Very important. And, you know, Ron, being the guy who is he wants everybody to succeed. He doesn't mind a little friendly competition, and he gave him the blessing, and Kevin went out and he's done all the right things. You know, he's hired all the right people. He's made it about the community up there, and they have a really good team. So what else can you ask for?
3rd and 15, incomplete. Gonna bring up 4th down, and it's just gonna be a win-win for everybody. It's gonna be a win-win for Tucson, indoor football in Arizona, and now we got an intrastate rivalry to boot.
Yeah, and Tucson has been very receptive as well. They've shown a lot of support. You know, fans are going out buying merchandise. You know, the first game of the year they had a line, you know, of about 30 or 40 people looking to buy merchandise, and like he's just done a really good job of marketing that team, and they've done everything right. And, you know, he's always going to do what's best for Tucson no matter what his tie is here to Arizona.
And that goes back to the nickname of the team, the Sugar Skulls. As Marquez's field goal attempt is no good. No good. And that score remains 28-14 with a minute and a half remaining here in the first half.
Another stop. That's 4 stops in the first half alone, Chris.
And that's going to make Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy a very happy man. And coming up at the half, we'll be joined by Rattlers owner Ron Schertz. Also, we'll have first half stats and highlights. And we will catch up with Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy. All of that and more coming up at the half.
Minute and 25 seconds, so that's an eternity.
And we still have the 1 minute warning to go.
Absolutely.
So it'll be interesting to see how Kevin Guy plays out the end of the first half here. Try to use up as much of that clock as possible. And there's the handoff, left side. Jamal Miles with the carry, pick of about 7, and we have hit the 1 minute warning. We'll step aside for a quick break. Arizona with the 28-14 lead over Tucson. We'll be right back. One minute remaining here, first half at the Snake Pit. Rattlers with the 28-14 lead over the Sugar Skulls. Try to get some more points on the board here if you're Arizona and close out this half.
Yeah, you definitely want to put some more points on the board, and then you get the ball coming out of halftime, so this lead can absolutely compound between now and the third quarter.
Reed, second down, and it is complete. Jared Harrington making the catch. That'll move the chains.
Harrington makes a good catch up against the boards there. For a second, I almost thought that Verlon may have thrown it a little too short for him. Great job of concentrating with the ball right there.
First and 10 from their own 21. Reed Slides to his left, fires complete. Lolly, touchdown, Rattlers. 29-yard scoring strike, Verlon Reed to Jabri Lolly.
Lolly looks like a receiver coming out then. Runs a great route, stays with the play. Verlon makes a great throw. He catches the ball in stride, no problem. Great hands. Is able to take it in for the score. I really like the athleticism of him, Chris. Can run, can catch, can block.
He can do it all.
Can do it all.
His 4th touchdown catch of the season. Camacho's point is up, and it is good. Yeah, we talked about Jabri Lolly in the open, just about how good he's been at running the ball, leading the league, rushing, but he's an unbelievable pass catcher coming out of the backfield as well.
Yeah, amazing. You know, 11 touchdowns on the season so far, with 4 of them coming through the air. You know, that's a weapon to be able to line him up, not only in the backfield, but line him up as a receiver, and then he can handle the responsibility of running routes and reading coverages and sitting down in holes. Great job that time.
So the Sugar Skulls jumped out to a quick 7-0 lead, and the Rattlers have outscored Tucson since then, 35-7, take a 35-14 lead. And as you take a look at the run the Rattlers have been on, and much of this has come under the ownership of Ron Schertz.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's 4 league championships, and that was over a span of about probably 6 to 7 years, you know, like unbelievable. I see that hardware every time I see Ron and Kevin. There's rings everywhere, you know. I was fortunate enough to get one, and they got one just about for every finger, you know. What a testament, though, to how they're able to do things and the chemistry and everything that they've been able to do together.
Certainly a class organization, the Rattlers. Penalty flag. And the return, Magic's going to get stopped at the 5-yard line. This is the 3rd straight return for Tucson on kickoffs where there's been penalty flags.
Oh, yeah, and probably the 3rd straight same holding penalty as well.
I thought you weren't going to be speculating up here.
Well, I figured, you know, after the third time, you know, the 3rd time's a charm, Chris. You know, I figured I probably should tell the fans exactly what's going on that time.
You think you've got this wired now, huh?
Yeah, I'm on it.
So the officials gather. Let's see what the call is.
Return, a legal block in the back, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. It's 1st down, Tucson.
So the Sugar Skulls have done themselves no favors on the kickoff returns, putting that offense in a hole each time they come out, last 3 times.
And another great job, though, of Rattlers, special teams going down and covering them. Even without the penalty, they still have them right at the 5-yard line. Great job.
So that'll back up Tucson to their own 1-yard line with 43 seconds remaining here in the first half. Barrett's going to keep it. He's just trying to find some room to work with. Brings it out to the 4-yard line.
Yeah, he's trying to take a little clock, too. You know, he don't want to score too quick.
And now we got a timeout by the Sugar Skulls with 29 seconds remaining.
No comment.
Marcus Coleman wanted to talk things over. And Marcus Coleman, this was the guy that Kevin Guy hired to run the Tucson Sugar Skulls team. Comes over from Iowa, where he's defensive coordinator for the Barnstormers the last 2 years, won the United Bowl last year. Spent 11 years in the NFL as a defensive back. He was an All-American at Texas Tech in college. He's got the credentials to run the franchise here in Tucson.
Well, yeah, his resume looks good, and this organization, this team, they've looked great the first few weeks of the season. You know, tonight though was a measuring stick for them to see exactly how good they are faring against a team that's established and as good as this Rattler team is, who can attack you in so many different ways. So still got a lot of football left, but they've hit some hurdles tonight for sure against this Rattlers defense.
2nd down and 7. Barrett has time, delivers, left side. Overthrows the intended receiver. And Bubba Chapman's going to get called for the penalty. It looked like he pulled up there at the end.
He did pull up. You know, that right there is just such a bang-bang play, they call it, and it's up to the referee's discretion. But he did pull up a little bit. He could have literally took him out. He did give him a little bit as the fan.
Boy, there was hits everywhere.
As the fan takes a little brunt of that as well, you know.
Shaquan Curenton takes the shot, and Curenton flies into the fan, trying to get the souvenir ball.
Gets his hat knocked off, everything. You know, it's amazing what they'll do for those balls, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's one of the great things about coming to a Rattler game.
You get to keep the ball. You got to give the player back, but you can keep the ball.
Players go back on the field.
Yeah.
Footballs you get to keep. 1st and 10, 24 seconds remain. Barrett finds his receiver, getting out of bounds to stop the clock. Smart play there by Mike Jones, the 5'11", 210-pound running back out of Bethune-Cookman.
Oh yeah, he's built like a brick, you know, but he's shown some really nice footwork tonight on a couple of runs as well. A little short right out the backfield, was able to complete it and get out of bounds and stop the clock.
In the first game of the year for the Sugar Skulls, Jones had 11 carries for 43 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2nd and 5, 20 seconds remain. Barrett, play action, fires down the field, almost intercepted. Bubba Chapman in on the play for the Rattlers.
Great coverage that time by Chapman. Second time, though, I feel like he probably should have had an interception. You know, he wasn't able to come down with it. He tries to run a post corner on him, but he has great coverage, able to go up. Oh, yeah, he should have caught that one, Bubba. I'm sorry.
And Bubba Chapman will tell you
he
should have 2 interceptions by now.
Absolutely, you know. He could have got his name in the paper.
Could have. Instead, we'll just say it on TV. 3rd and 5 for the Sugar Skulls. Ball is near midfield. 14 seconds remain, first half. Barrett drops it off. Jones, penalty flag is down. Jones, no pickup on the play. Clock stops, 9 seconds remaining. Let's see what the penalty flag is for.
Barron got a little trigger happy that time. If he would have waited just a second, he had Brandon Sampson wide open on the corner route.
It looks like the penalty is going to go against Tucson as the official comes over to talk to Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy. As Coach Guy decides what he wants to do here, accept the penalty or decline it.
Holding offense number 67. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It's 3rd down.
So Coach Guy elects to push that Sugar Skulls offense back 10 yards.
Oh yeah, just in case they have to kick a field goal. You know, 9 seconds left. They got a time for maybe 2 plays. So you take a shot on goal right here, and then if not, maybe try and get a field goal at the end, right before halftime.
So that brings the ball back to the Sugar Skulls 14-yard line. Third down and 15. Clock is winding down. Ball is snapped just before the clock hits zeros. And Barrett just throws it away. And we are at the half here at Talking Stick Resort Arena. In the first ever game between the Arizona Rattlers and Tucson Sugar Skulls. And it is the Rattlers with the 35-14 lead. When we come back, we'll have Rattlers owner Ron Schertz. We'll be right back right here on the Phoenix CW. It's halftime here at Talking Stick Resort Arena, where the Arizona Rattlers lead the Tucson Sugar Skulls by a score of 35-14. And Chris Harris, you're up in the booth with Rattlers owner Ron Schertz. And Ron, your thoughts on the first half? What did you see there?
Well, you know, Kevin got after him a little bit, right? And so it was kind of fun to see, and a couple turnovers there, and so they're rolling.
So the first ever game between the Arizona Rattlers and Tucson Sugar Skulls. Your thoughts on the intrastate rivalry now between these two teams?
Well, you know, the league's trying to grow, so this gives you an opportunity to be able to get a rivalry going and actually cut some expenses from trying to fly everywhere. So believe it or not, that makes a difference. So that's kind of the goal, is to build this West Coast out, like the San Diego team and some other teams are working on. So have a little West Coast thing going on.
Now, obviously, Kevin Guy, your general manager and head coach, also the co-owner of Tucson. How's the dynamic work between the two of you on that?
Well, I mean, you know, we're proud of Kevin, happy for Kevin, right? So it's definitely a little weird today. You know, I'm not sure if his wife, Kathy's not who she's cheering for.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, no, she's down here by me. But anyway, it's just kind of fun. And just, you know, so proud of Kevin and have an opportunity to be able to do that. And at the end of the day, Kevin wants to win. And I promise you, Tucson's playing somebody else, that's fine, but they're playing us today. It's about winning.
And what was the discussion like between you and Kevin when the idea first came about? Because I know the first thing he did was come to you, and he wanted to get your blessing and permission before he even thought about diving into this venture.
Yeah, you know, I'm obviously supportive. I just, you know, if you've got a vision and a dream, which I've done my whole life, to try and stop him from doing that was ridiculous. And so, you know, we're happy for him again. And last week, I didn't get a chance to go to the game last week down there, but it sounded like it was a lot of fun.
Well, obviously, Kevin got the blueprint of how to run an organization by being under your tutelage, and I know he really does appreciate that.
Yeah, no question. So, I mean, you know, I think our team's done a great job here. So.
But obviously, we want a Rattlers victory here tonight. They had the lead 35-14 at the half. Rattlers owner Ron Schertz, thank you so much for the time. All right, step aside for a quick break. More to come here at the half. Rattlers with the lead. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. This is the field. Welcome back, everybody. It's halftime here at Talking Stick Resort Arena.
where the Rattlers are leading the Sugar Skulls. Here's a live look inside. Rattlers. Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy joins us after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome. Welcome back, everybody. It's halftime here at Talking Stick Resort Arena. Arizona Rattlers leading the Tucson Sugar Skulls by a count of 35-14. Let's now take a look at the first half numbers and see what stands out here with you, Randy Gatewood.
You know, the score, a 3-touchdown lead, by them able to get 4 stops in the first half, they've kind of opened this game up and put a lot of pressure on Tucson. So, to me, that's the glaring thing, of course, is that score based on those turnovers.
And we're going to step aside now for a quick break. When we come back, we will hear from Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy. We'll be right back right here on the Phoenix CW. Welcome back, everybody. Halftime here. Talking Stick Resort Arena, Arizona with the 35-14 lead. Happy to be joined right now by Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy. And coach, your thoughts on the first half? You got it done on all three phases of the game.
You know, I thought their coaching staff had a great game plan early on, and you know, came out and we got behind early, and then, you know, we were fortunate enough to get a couple of turnovers that kind of turned the game around. You know, we you know, kind of got a little bit of a gift with Keith Jones Jr. not playing tonight, so that obviously helped with the matchups. But we got another 30 minutes, and you know, they took the ball first in the first half, so we're going to get it coming out at second half, and then we'll see what happens. But, you know, they got us with a little bit with the hurry-up offense, and, you know, this is a good test for both teams.
Appreciate the time, coach. Good luck in the second half.
You got it, guys.
That was Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy. We now take a look at the first half highlights. And it was the Sugar Skulls getting on the board first. And there's Matt Barrett showing that mobility, but it's pretty much all Rattlers from there on out.
Yeah, they got off to a pretty good start, but after that, like you said, all Rattlers.
Verlon Reed working that right side. And then Reed fires and finds Sumter. And they were getting it done on the ground and through the air. There's Jabri Lawley. Touchdown catch, and we stand at 35-14 as we get ready to start the third quarter. So glad to be with us here on the Phoenix CW. Now to get caught up on the rest of the scores around the IFL this weekend. And last night, Quad City with the victory over Cedar Rapids. And how about the night of E.J. Hilliard, 12 of 19, $147, 6 touchdown tosses in their win over the River Kings.
River Kings struggling again. Quad City steamed right over them.
And one other score to update you on. Sioux Falls all over Bismarck, 51-10, midway through the third quarter.
Wow. There. That's what you're talking about. That's a shellacking, as they would call it. You know?
That's a beatdown.
Oh, that is a serious beatdown.
And so the Rattlers with that 35-14 lead, and they will get the ball to start the second half.
You know, we talked about it a little bit right before halftime, that if they were able to score and get the ball back right at halftime, that lead would compound. And they haven't been able to stop them except for that one opening drive in the first quarter. So the Rattlers go out and score right now, puts a lot of pressure on this Tucson Skulls team to come back and win this game.
Marquez kicks it right into the Rattlers bench area. And it took a moment for the officials to call that play dead, but Epps was wanting to get that thing and go.
As you can see, I'm on the edge of my seat. Every time he touches the ball, Chris, I'm like, no, don't blow it dead. Let him go.
Desmond Epps always a threat whenever he gets his hands on the ball. And it'll be Verlon Reed to start the second half here. And this breaks what's been going on the first two games for Arizona. In the first game of the season against Green Bay, Jeff Ziemba started the first half. Reed played the second half. In the second game against Cedar Rapids, it was Verlon Reed who got the start and played the first half, and then Ziemba played in the second half. And that looks like maybe Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy is leaning more towards Verlon Reed here as he gets the nod to start the second half. Fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, has plenty of room to run, takes off. Verlon Reed down the sidelines, gets driven into the dasher boards. And that is one of the reasons why Coach Guy likes Verlon Reed.
Great job of escaping the pressure right there. And I thought they had him bottled up for a second. He's able to come out of the end zone and take that thing for about a 16-yard gain. So, but he's absolutely solidified himself as a starter for this Rattlers football team. He's played great in these opening weeks, and you know, unless something happens, like, I don't see any reason why Kevin would pull him and allow Ziemba to come back in.
Reed came into tonight's game averaging 12.3 yards per carry. Reed shotgun, rolls to his left. Finally gets rid of it, overthrows everybody. Incomplete.
The one time tonight, they was able to get some pressure on him. Ruspin Nikocevic was chasing him from behind, and that's a hard throw to try to, run and left and then try to turn right and fire that ball downfield. He was a little high on the throw.
Take a look at Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy, his career numbers. And Randy, he is 2 wins away from reaching the 200-win plateau.
Unbelievable what he's been able to do with this organization and all the success they had. It's unheard of. I'm not sure why other teams don't try to emulate and do more of what the Rattlers do.
Jamal Miles is going to get brought down short of the line of scrimmage. Well, it's one thing to try to emulate it, but you need to have the personnel to make it work, as well as the right guys calling the shots.
And he certainly has an eye for talent, because you look at, a lot of the guys who he brings in, no one knows that these guys are going to go out and perform the way they do. And, you take a normal guy and you get him here in Arizona, and KG turns him into an all, IFL player.
It's kind of like what Bill Belichick does with guys at the Patriots.
It is. It's very, very similar, and it's what Tom Kraft and what Belichick, what they have with the Patriots. If you want to equate it, that's what they have here in the IFL.
3rd and 10 for the Rattlers. Reed takes a shot down the field, in and out of the hands of Marcus Sumter. That would have been a touchdown. It would have been a tough catch, but Sumter almost came up with it.
And what a great throw, though, from Verlon Reed that time. Sitting in the pocket, steps into this throw and throws a strike right over the top of the defensive back, Majid that time. And look at this. I mean, right on the money. I'm sorry, Sumter, but that ball should have been caught. Great throw.
Beautiful ball by Reed, falls incomplete. 4th and 10. Coach Guy electing to go for it with the ball at the Arizona 21-yard line.
3-touchdown lead, why not?
This Rattlers offense has been rolling. See if they can pick up a 4th down here, though. Early in the 3rd quarter. Reed, wide open receiver. Miles makes the catch. 1st down, Rattlers. Miles brought down at the Tucson 14.
See, this is one of the things when you play zone, there are always holes. Always holes. And he does a really good job of sitting down in the hole right there. They're basically trying to prevent the touchdown, and he sits right down in the hole. Miles was able to make a catch, convert on that 4th and 10.
Let's give some credit to that Rattlers offensive line, the job that the offensive line coach Connie Kawhi does. 4th down, gave Reed plenty of time, plenty of room to throw the ball, and he delivers a strike.
Well, they've established the line of scrimmage tonight, and that was one of the keys to the game as well. Verlon Reed hasn't been under duress much at all.
Timeout, Arizona. First time out of the half.
Timeout by Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy. Obviously saw something he didn't like. And going back to that matchup of the Rattlers offensive line against Tucson's defensive front, and Coach Guy brought it up to us just there at halftime. Rattlers kind of caught a break because defensive lineman Keith Jones Jr. not available for the Sugar Skulls here tonight. So that obviously makes things a little bit easier for that Rattlers offensive front.
Yeah, because you talk about a guy who can absolutely bring it. He creates a lot of problems for opposing offensive lines. And so by him not being in the lineup tonight, the Rattlers certainly got off a little bit easier, with him not being here. But just a testament to them just in general, because throughout the start of the season, they played great. Like I said, he hasn't been under duress except for maybe once tonight. And even in our previous game, he really wasn't. No one really touched him as well. So hats off to that offensive line for doing a great job of protecting him.
That'd be Steve Ngarola, the center, Lamar Mady, and Chris Bowles, the guards. Reed's going to keep it, work that right side inside the 10-yard line.
Nice ball control drive coming out of halftime. Not in a hurry, making sure everybody's lined up correctly. KG is studying that play sheet, keeping it simple, running some time off the clock as well. Verlon Reed doing a great job, though, of just executing on this opening drive in the second half.
Well, it's kind of like what Coach Guy told us a couple weeks ago in the game against Cedar Rapids. Try to get that offense on the Audubon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just step on that gas pedal and go. Reed to the end zone. In and out of the hands of Jamal Miles. Rattlers had 2 receivers in the corner over there.
Wow. Great touch pass. Look at the touch he puts on this ball over an outstretched DB. The DB was sitting in the corner. They were playing another zone, and just a great, great throw by Verlon Reed. You know, great touch. Do it early. Look at this. That's perfect. You can't ask for a better throw. Miles has to come down with that one.
Miles just took his eye off the ball. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 3 for the Rattlers from the 7. Reed keeps it himself, calls his own number. Touchdown, Rattlers. Verlon Reed with the 7-yard score. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the game and 5th of the season.
That right there is called scouting. Total scouting. He knew that in these situations that Tucson usually plays the zone. They drop everybody back. Great job of scouting this team and knowing their tendencies to call a quarterback draw at that time.
Jimmy Camacho out of Fresno State on for the extra point. Jared Harrington, the hold. And it is good. So Verlon Reed calls his own number. Rattlers lead 42-14. St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. Celebrating that a little early here in the Snake Pit. And it's been all Rattlers here. 8:45 remaining 3rd quarter. They lead the Sugar Skulls by a score of 42-14. And Randy, let's revisit the keys to the game and see what's working.
They've done a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage. We touched on it earlier. Verlon Reed basically has not been touched tonight. Tucson tried to speed the tempo up on Arizona, and then they got away from it, and now that's not working. And 4 stops in the first half for Arizona, and that's the difference of this game.
Magic with the return. And again, this kickoff coverage for Arizona has been absolutely fantastic here tonight. And that's making special teams coach Jeff Jarnigan very happy. There's Ricky Wyatt Jr. in on the tackle this time. As you see, Magic's a little slow to get up there.
Yeah, and if I'm Magic, I'd be frustrated too. You know, they've had penalties, they've had holdings, they've had blocking the backs, they've had everything going on, and now they've tackled them. Special team has pinned them inside the 10 again.
And we got a new quarterback in now for Tucson, and it's going to be Jake Medlock, the new quarterback for the Sugar Skulls. Drops it out, finds the receiver, Brown. Pickup of a couple, but Jake Medlock into the game. He was the quarterback at Cedar Rapids last season. He led the IFL in pass attempts, passing yards, and touchdowns. He threw 47 touchdowns last year at Cedar Rapids, and now he has checked into the game for Tucson. Tried to light a spark under the Sugar Skulls offense.
Yeah, it's a good time, great time, and you know, Kevin Guy thought that we would see Medlock this game. He thought that we might even see him earlier, and now we get a chance, and they need a spark. They need something to get him going right now, and he could be that guy.
And we just saw his numbers from the first game of the season against San Diego. And welcome to the game, Jake Medlock, as Chris Mcallister comes in to get the sack.
Sack master, Baylor's all-time sack leader. Look at him. That time, Kevin had a talk with him and said, look, hey, read option, you got quarterback. He did his job, and he was rewarded that time with a sack.
Rattlers defense stepping up. 3rd and 12 for the Sugar Skulls. Medlock throws from his own end zone down the field, right side. Just overthrows the intended receiver, Brandon Sampson.
Another great job of coverage by Dylan Winfrey. I don't think anybody's caught one ball on him tonight. He gets up a little slow, though. Like he may have rolled over, but he's holding his left side. But he's done an excellent job tonight of coverage.
Take a look at last season's numbers there for Medlock, we just spoke of a moment ago. Talking to Coach Guy about Medlock, he said this guy's a gunslinger. He's going to take some shots down the field. And he had nothing but compliments about Jake Medlock when we spoke to him leading up to this game.
Yeah, he has all the numbers. He has all the numbers of a great quarterback. And, you know, this was his first drive tonight. He was a little long on that play, but nowhere to throw the football that time with the coverage by Winfrey.
But he did take the shot down the field.
Oh, yeah.
Something he's not afraid to do. Marquez on for the field goal attempt. 57 yards. It's up. Wide right. Goes over the end boards. Out of bounds.
That's a first down right there.
6:07 remaining here, 3rd quarter. Boy, Sugar Skulls jumped out to that quick 7-0 lead. Since then, Arizona's outscored Tucson 42-7.
Yeah, they've looked like a completely different football team than they were in the first quarter, Chris. Like, I mean, just a few mistakes, a few drop balls, things not going right, and not the same team they were in the first quarter.
And quarterback change now for the Rattlers, as now Jeff Ziemba checks into the game for Verlon Reed. And Ziemba goes under center. Play action. Fires across the middle of the field. Catch is made. First down, Arizona. Hauling it in is Marcus Sumter.
What a luxury of having two quarterbacks like that. You know, a guy who's proven himself as well, was a Rattler starter a year ago besides an injury, but just a really good job of setting up in the pocket, stepping and throwing a dart in there to Sumter that time, who sits down in that zone.
Yeah, Ziemba, he was the IFL Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. Had a very productive first season with the Rattlers. Handoff this time to the left side to Jabri Lawley. And Lawley and Ziemba played high school and college ball together, now playing together professionally. And I talked to Jabri Lawley this week about the relationship between those two. And he said on the weekends in high school, they'd play the games on Friday nights. He would stay with the Ziemba family at their house for the rest of the weekend. Like,
oh, wow.
He had his own bed at the Ziemba household. He said the two of them were like brothers.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to be able to play with your childhood high school teammate all these years.
Unbelievable. And Lawley, the carry there, reaches and lunges for the first down. And I asked Lawley, so how did you get over here to the Rattlers? Did Ziemba put in the good word for you? He's like, absolutely. He said Ziemba went and talked to Rattlers general manager, head coach Kevin Guy. He said, you got to look at my guy, Jabri Lawley. I think he'd be perfect for our system. And so Lawley sent Coach Guy the tape. Next thing you know, he's here, and he is one of the top running backs in this league after 2 weeks.
Oh, and wow, and yeah, what a great find. Absolutely great job from Ziemba to point that out to KG, because Lawley could play for me any day.
Absolutely. And there's Lawley again running the left side.
He's had a rather quiet night tonight, but the Rattlers have hit him in so many different angles, and Tucson was very good coming into this game against the run, and they knew how good Arizona was, so they've shut down the run just a little bit, but Arizona has so many ways to attack you, so many weapons, that you shut down one thing and it just opens up the floodgates on everything else.
Ziemba under center, play action, now finds Lawley. First down, Arizona, and again, not only can he run the ball, but he can catch the ball coming out of the backfield.
And I like that too. I like the play action to him and then throw it right to him right out in the flat like that. And I felt like he was going to take him right away, like take him right now, give it to him. Great job of putting it on him quick so he can pick up some yards after the catch.
And Lawley, he runs really smooth. For being a physical runner, he's 6 foot 225, but he's very light on his feet.
He is, and he's athletic. He's probably the most athletic running back in the IFL.
Ziemba's going to keep it this time right side, puts the shoulder down. Touchdown, Rattlers. Jeff Ziemba takes the hand off to Lawley, works the right side, puts the shoulder down, gets the touchdown.
That's a quarterback running over a defensive back. That doesn't happen that often.
We got penalty
The
flags.
result of the play is a touchdown. After the score, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 56 for taunting is first of the game. The penalty was placed in the bank. Try for point.
So the penalty is going to go against the center, Steven Garola. So we take another look at the touchdown by Ziemba.
Yeah, as you can see, he lowers the boom right there and is able to get the ball in the touchdown. Actually, it was against Bowles Jr. who had the celebration, who he got for taunting. He was excited for his quarterback who ran over a guy.
And why not? I'd like to see your
Absolutely.
quarterback show some physicality. It was Jeff Ziemba from 7 yards out. Rattlers lead 49-14. We'll be right back. And look who we have here.
Big John.
Big John and his better half, Michelle.
Oh, yeah.
Long-time Rattlers fans taking in the action.
I'm going to have a talk with Michelle, though, because she's not wearing her 17 jersey tonight, I have to have a talk with
She
her.
likes to spread the wealth. And
Yeah,
always great to see Big John and Michelle. How
Always.
about all the patches they got going on those jerseys?
Oh, yeah. Long-time fans. Long time. Great people, too.
Yes. And a new return man here for Tucson. Looked like it was Nigel Bethel the second on the return.
Same result. Tackled inside the 10.
And guess what, Randy?
Another penalty, but I think this one's actually on Arizona. I'm
They
speculating.
are speculating again.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 16 of the kicking team for taunting, his first of the game. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, and the bank foul will also be a 15-yard penalty.
So there is 30 yards added on for the Sugar Skulls after the unsportsmanlike, after the touchdown run by Ziemba, and now this here on the return.
Rattlers got to keep their composure. You know, they're up by a lot of points. You can't still gift, you know, things to the opposing teams. You know, like they got to keep their composure in these times. It's hard to do that sometimes when you're up by so much and you're having fun, but you got to keep your composure.
But that's one thing that Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy does. He has these guys play to a standard.
Oh, yeah.
The Rattlers standard. Handoff right side. Not much there. That Rattlers defense up front coming up to make the stop. On the carry is Mike Jones.
The Rattlers hit you from so many ways, Chris, and then before you know it, you look up, you're down by 21, 28 points, and then the onslaught starts, and it just zaps everything out of you, you know, and you got to be able to take those punches and then punch back, and a lot of times teams just don't have enough to give it back to them, and that's exactly what's happened tonight.
Medlock rolls out right side, fires the end zone, has a receiver just off the hands of Donovan Raspberry.
That was a pretty good looking play call there, though. Play action, rolling right, had him open. Just was not able to get it to him. Donovan Raspberry, a little guy too, 5'8", 170, out of Winston-Salem, just right off the top. Oh, make that unbelievable catch one-handed.
It's going to bring a third down and about 8 for the Sugar Skulls. The ball at the 11-yard line. Medlock in shotgun, handoff up the middle, touchdown Tucson. And it is Mike Jones, his second touchdown of the game.
I'll tell you, don't sleep on Mike Jones. You know, he can run the football. He has great acceleration for a guy that size. It's a great looking play there.
Marquez for the extra point. And it is good. 6 seconds remain here, third quarter. Rattlers with the lead, 49-21. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Talking Stick Resort Arena. It's jumping. Rattlers 49, Sugar Skulls 21.
It's always jumping in here, Chris.
Got to get out to a game if you haven't.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder sometimes that with some of the lopsided margins of victory, are the Rattlers athletically that much better, or is it that the team and the system that KG and Ron has in place that makes them just a little bit more superior right now?
That is a good question. And here's Desmond Epps on the return. And he gets brought down into the dasher boards as time expires to end the third quarter. Rattlers 49, Sugar Skulls 21. The fourth quarter when we come back. You're watching Rattlers football on Phoenix CW. We'll be right back. The Arizona Rattlers are brought to you by Spooner Physical, transforming our community's physical therapy and hand therapy needs for 25 years. Experience health in motion for yourself. And by Tea of a Kind. Stop, rethink your drink, hydrate with Tea of a Kind. And The Park, eat local, party local, the official post-game spot of your Arizona Rattlers. And Casino Arizona. The hottest gaming action is at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. As we get ready to start the fourth quarter here at the Snake Pit, Chris Harris along with Randy Gatewood. Rattlers with the 49-21 lead over the Sugar Skulls, the first meeting ever between these two teams, Tucson in their expansion season.
Not quite sure that this is the way Tucson wanted it to turn out, but hey, arena football, a lot of football left. But I tell you, boy, Rattlers look pretty dominant tonight.
They looked very dominant in the first home game we had here, too, against Cedar Rapids. Fourth quarter. 1st and 10 from midfield. Pitch to the right side. Lally cuts it back left side, and he is gone. Jabri Lally. 25-yard touchdown run.
Wait till you see this play. I'm not sure Tucson Sugar Skulls has ever seen this. You run a fake pitch left, option to the right, nobody, you get everybody rolling left with the misdirection, and Ziemba pitches it to Jabri Lally. He takes it, turns on the gas all the way to the house. Great play call that time by Kevin Guy.
Camacho, the extra point. And it is good. 14-14 remaining, fourth quarter. All Rattlers. Jabri Lawley, his first touchdown on the ground tonight, 8th of the season.
Just a great job of misdirection that time. You get him coming parallel to the line of scrimmage. You fake the quick handoff, pitch it to Jabri, and he turns it on, and there's no way you're going to catch him once he gets ahead of steam like that going.
Return, nowhere to go. Bethel, ball is loose. Arizona recovers. Boy, special teams coming up big for the Rattlers, and it's Devontae Merriweather coming up with it.
Epps does a great job of flying down the field, though, and stripping this ball out. You're talking about a guy who's played offense predominantly tonight. Look at him, aware enough that when he's on the tackle to rip that ball out before he's going down right now. Great awareness, great job by Epps that time.
And then how about Merriweather? He forced a fumble in the first half. Now he gets a recovery here in the second half.
And it's been total domination tonight, Chris, on both sides of the ball.
And now Arizona with the ball at the Tucson 5-yard line. Early fourth quarter. Lawley, right side, tries to cut it back in, gets stood up. Great play defensively there by Zach Allen.
Zach Allen, with a little help from Micah Eugene Jr. that time, were able to corral him. I thought he was going to get in for a second, and he made the cut back and right into the pursuit of this Sugar Skulls defense.
Lawley's now got 8 rushing touchdowns on the season. That leads the IFL.
Wow. But I like to think that being in the red zone, being up out this much, that you're going to get a heavy dose of Lawley right here.
And you went to the right side earlier. Now try the left side. Now you find the end zone. Touchdown, Rattlers.
Great minds think alike, Chris.
Yes,
you know,
they do.
You know, I would have given him a heavy dose. And off tackle here, left off. Breaks the tackle that time from Allen and is able to get in. But like I said, with this lead, being in the red zone right there, KG know what he has in Jabri Lawley. And, I mean, I'd give it to him 3 or 4 straight downs in that particular possession. He's bound to get in, definitely one of them. So.
And again, give credit to that offensive line doing some work in the trenches.
Oh, yeah.
Extra point is good. Arizona 63, Tucson 21. We'll be back right here on the Phoenix CW. In 15 minutes, stay here on your Phoenix CW to catch the season opener for the Phoenix Rising. We will continue our broadcast if the game has not concluded online at youtube.com/Indoor Football League. So you can make sure to follow us over there if the game is not wrapped up by 7:30. And there is that kickoff coverage once again, and this time making the play is Philip Henry.
Inside the 10. I don't think they've had one kickoff return tonight outside of the help of a penalty where they've been outside the 10-yard line, which Rattlers are flying down, making it look easy in all phases of the game tonight, offensively, defensively, special teams. special teams is the one that probably ignited this onslaught right now.
False start there against Tucson, the right side of the line. And along those lines, Randy, one of the things that Coach Guy wanted to see here was the kicker, Jimmy Camacho.
Start.
He was
Offense, number 67. Half the distance to the goal. It's first down.
Camacho was 9 of 12 on extra points a couple of weeks ago, and he wanted to see how he bounced back. Well, he's been perfect here tonight, 9 of 9. But not only that, but on the kickoffs, he's done a great job on the kickoffs, allowing the coverage to get down there and make the plays.
Oh, yeah, kicking it high. He's kicking the ball high tonight, and it's allowing that coverage. And those guys are flying down. And mentally, he's been tuned in tonight, and that's what KG wanted to see.
Medlock fires left side, incomplete.
I don't know if I'd be picking on Dylan Winfrey at all. Hey, he's been all over the field defensively. I don't know if one guy has made a catch even against him tonight. Like, he has been very sound on the backside of that coverage tonight.
Well, through 3 quarters, the Rattlers have given up 41 yards.
And 1 sack for a loss of 4 yards. So they had
through the air.
7 yards tonight. Unbelievable.
41 yards through the air,
wow.
through 3 quarters for the Sugar Skulls. And right there, great job defensively. Coming to make the play right after the catch is Devin Cockrell.
Yeah, that just doesn't happen. You know, 37 net yards passing for an IFL game. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a game where it was like that.
And you've been around for a while.
Oh, I've been around a while. And tonight it's just been, you know, they've done some things well, but I felt like they got away from doing that, though, Chris, the things they were doing well.
It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 for Tucson. Medlock fires. Ball is caught. It's going to be a 1st down for the Sugar Skulls. Making the catch for Tucson, Shaquan Currington.
Great job of holding on the ball that time from Shaq Currington. He fires a dart in there, and he's able to catch it. But as you can see, as soon as he touches the ball, Cockrell's all over him. These Rattler DBs have been all over the field tonight.
First and 10. Medlock takes a shot down the right side. Incomplete.
Don't even attempt to throw the ball towards Dylan Winfrey. Like,
he's locked in.
He's locked in tonight. He's got that side of the field locked down tonight. Like, don't even look that way to throw the football.
But again, Medlock, he's a guy not afraid to take a shot down the field.
They've tried everything against him tonight, too. Double move, you know, short route, pick route. Tonight, Arizona's played a lot of man, and, you know, Tucson's played a lot of zone, and Tucson has not been able to crack the code defensively.
Left side, catch is made. Currington again. It's going to be a pickup of about 7. Bring up 3rd and 3.
Another short game, but as I look at the Tucson offense and the flow and the rhythm and everything that they've got going now, it's unfortunate that they just don't have anything. And it's tough to keep that energy when you're down by such a large deficit, but you have to find a way to, somebody's got to make a play. Somebody got to step up and say, I'm going to be the one who at least starts it and tries.
Incomplete, but how about the hit? Ricky Wyatt Jr. laid on Jake Medlock, came in on the blitz and just laid out Medlock.
You know, they've got to shore this up. He's coming free, like he's untouched. He's got a free run at the quarterback that time. He doesn't have a chance at all. And Medlock has to absorb the brunt of that hit. No chance of even completing that ball.
Wyatt Jr., he actually participated in a Rattlers Open tryout back in 2017, leading up to the first season in the IFL. Did make it, but a couple years later, he finds him as the starting MAC linebacker here for Arizona.
I'm going to tell you a little trivia about that Rattlers tryout here after this next play.
Nice dump off right side. Curenton, big pickup. First and goal for Tucson. But there's a penalty flag down at about the 20-yard line.
Great job of Mike Jones that time. I'm telling you, that guy, he is fleet-footed. You see him at downfield, hit him with the Cedric Bonner used to
block
call
in the
it.
back, number 6 of the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It's 4th down.
They're going to bring it back.
Cedric used to call it the dead leg. You know, he hit him with the dead leg, yeah. But a little trivia.
Yeah, go back to your story.
Rattlers tryout, Ricky Wyatt Jr. That's how I came to the Rattlers, was through the open tryout.
Is that right?
As well, yeah. I won't date it because I don't want to, date myself. I won't give you a timetable, but Hunky Cooper talked me into going to that tryout, and that's how Danny and Doug K discovered me in the same open tryout.
So if you're still looking to play some football, make sure you make it to the open tryout. Now he takes a shot down the field. Incomplete. Another penalty flag is down. Bubba Chapman again flying in for an interception. Still looking for his first one of the game.
Beyond 5 yards, number 27 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Bubba Chapman. Yeah, he's had another one tonight.
Penalties
This
against
is his
Devin
third. I
Cockrell.
mean, he's sitting back just playing center field. It's the third one, Bubba. I'm sorry, man. Oh, yeah. Hit him in we used to say hit him in a bad place. Hit him in the hands. He'd be leading the league in picks,
He would be. Take a look at the IFL standings. This is what they'll look like if the score holds. Arizona Rattlers actually moved to 3-0 on the season. Tucson would drop to 2-1, and Medlock gets wrapped up, nowhere to go. Nick Diavanzo with the sack.
Nick Diavanzo, he's basically unblockable one-on-one. Like, you've got to get him some help or maybe a little bit of play action or something, but you can't hold the ball that long with him having a one-on-one versus the old lineman on that side. He's bound to get home. They've just taken everything out of this Tucson Sugar Skulls team tonight, and this is what happens when you're a new team going up against a team that's established like Arizona, and a guy like Kevin who really, really scouts and understands the tendencies of even a new team just like this.
Medlock tries to dump it off to Jones, falls incomplete. You mentioned it earlier, Randy. This is a barometer game for the Sugar Skulls, just to kind of see where they are at, especially when it comes playing against one of the top teams in the league.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things where you have to go out and understand what's going on and figure it out. But unfortunately, it's against a much superior team tonight.
And there is the look up the updated standings if this score holds, with Arizona at 3-0 and Tucson dropping to 2-1. Sioux Falls with their win earlier today, 3-0 on the year. Medlock pass is complete. Raspberry hauls it in. Well, your next Arizona Rattlers home game is Sunday, March 31st against the Sioux Falls Storm. Game kicks off at 3:05 right here at Talking Stick Resort Arena on your Phoenix CW.
We could have another matchup of undefeateds if Sioux Falls is able to hold serve next week as well.
Two of the top teams in the IFL wide open the end zone. Touchdown, Tucson. Hauling it in for the touchdown for the Sugar Skulls is Jared Brown.
Yeah, he caught Cockrell a little flat-footed that time. Cockrell thought he was going to sit down, and he took it up. Great throw. Medlock was able to find him for the touchdown. Is it that hard to do that against the Rattlers? Are they that good?
It has been tonight.
Okay.
We haven't seen somebody that wide open all night.
No.
Extra point is up, and it is good. Jake Medlock finds Jared Brown, touchdown Tucson, but Rattlers still up big. .404 remaining here in the ball game. Rattlers 63, Sugar Skulls 28. The first ever meeting between these two teams. Tucson, the expansion team. Rattlers fans working a little choreography out there in the stands. A little Sweet Caroline. Feeling good, comfortable lead.
Feeling real good.
And the Rattlers playing tonight's game coming off a bye week, and then they have another bye week next week, and then they play Sioux Falls in a couple weeks.
Sometimes it's hard to get it going, too, after a bye week, but I'll tell you, Arizona has had no problem tonight. And, you know, Sugar Skulls are without, you know, one of their best defensive players, but I'm not sure that he would have helped with everything that happened tonight, boy.
Yeah, Keith Jones Jr. is absolutely a difference maker on that defensive line for the Sugar Skulls, but Desmond Epps working the left side. Penalty flag comes down.
Just once, I want to see him be able to hit that gap without no one there, just to see exactly, I mean, see him just turn it on. You know, this guy has
During
a
the
different
return,
gear.
illegal block in the back. Receiving team, half distance to the goal, first down.
He may be the fastest guy, Chris, I've seen
He can move.
in the AFL or the IFL. He may be the fastest guy.
He can get it going.
Yeah. And there's some guys who could fly that I've had the privilege of playing against, but Epps is electric. He's fast.
You know, one of the concerns, you look at the 63 points the Rattlers have. Coming into tonight's game, you know, the Rattlers, Anthony Amos, now with the team right now, had another opportunity with the AAF and the Arizona Hotshots. And he's been a dependable receiver for this team for quite a few years now. And then Desmond Epps, he was away for a week and made his way back. Didn't get the start, so you're looking at some guys that needed to step up, as KG said.
Oh, yeah.
Jamal Miles, Jared Harrington, Marcus Sumter were the starting receiving corps.
Yeah, and he was a little worried about, you know, the chemistry and not having Amos and, you know, Epps, you know, going right up to the deadline before he came back to practice. But overall, like, they've all just looked good. And you get Lolly lined up at wide receiver as well. What a luxury that is.
Miles on the jet sweep gets stood up, but not after picking up about 7 on the play.
I'll tell you, Micah Eugene Jr., he is physical. He is one of those DBs that will come up and rock your world if you aren't careful. And he came up and he laid a shot on Miles. Miles took it and kept going, but I tell you, a lot of times you don't get DBs who are willing to go in and have those huge collisions like that, and he is willing to do it.
As Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy says a lot of the DBs like to make business decisions.
Oh, yeah.
And not stick their nose in there. But the former LSU Tiger, he's not afraid to hit you in the mouth, and right there on that play as well.
You gotta
flew in on Lolly.
You gotta pick and choose your battles, though. You flew in on Lolly that time, and Lolly's much bigger, a lot more head of steam coming on, and you just bounced right off of him. So, you got to pick your battles.
Lolly checking in at 6 foot 225. And then you've got Eugene Jr., 5'11", 190.
Oh, yeah.
Giving up 30 pounds.
You could see it, too. You could totally see it.
Harrington fly sweep, right side. Pick up about 4 on the play.
He's another one that could fly, too.
And we have hit the 1-minute warning here at Talking Stick Resort Arena. And as we go to break, coming up next on your Phoenix CW is the season opener for the Phoenix Rising. You can continue watching the Rattlers and the Sugar Skulls online at youtube.com/Indoor Football League. One minute remaining here, Talking Stick Resort Arena. Rattlers leading the Sugar Skulls 63-28. Tucson led 7-0 out of the gates.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But as I stated earlier, though, they look like a completely different football team after those first few drives.
Second down, Ziemba takes the knee. And the clock will continue to run. So Tucson head coach Marcus Coleman, he's conceded this one, allowing the clock to continue to run as Ziemba takes the knee.
Oh, yeah. They were just outmatched tonight, Chris. I mean, if you look at the overall performance and everything that happened tonight, they were just outmatched.
And you see the final seconds ticking down.
The only thing, you got to play them 3 more times this year. You know, it's the first of 4 meetings, so hopefully they're able to go back, regroup, figure some things out, and before they play them next time, hopefully they're ready.
So the Rattlers get the victory over the Sugar Skulls in the first ever meeting between the two Arizona teams. 63-28 is the final. Step aside for a quick break. We'll come back with more here from Talking Stick Resort Arena right here on the Phoenix CW. The Arizona Rattlers are brought to you by Papa John's. When we win, you win. The day after every Rattlers win, you'll receive 50% off all online pizza orders. Rattlers get the win here tonight against the Sugar Skulls, 63-28. Let's now take a look at the updated standings. Rattlers on top, along with the Sioux Falls Storm. Those two teams will meet in a couple of weeks right here in the Snake Pit. Iowa Barnstormers, defending champs at 2-0. The Sugar Skulls, they dropped to 2-1 on the season. And we are now happy to be joined right now by Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy. And coach, a couple of the keys you said coming into tonight's game was that offensively you had to win the line of scrimmage, and defensively get stops and forced turnovers. How do you feel like your team did in those departments here tonight?
Well, we was able to do it as the game went on, but we got a couple of turnovers on special teams. We had a block kick, we got short field. Then we had another fumble on a kickoff return that, they fumbled, we recovered it. So, we got some fortunate things that happened. 3 turnovers on this end of the field that gave us short field. So, we just got to keep building, keep working, we didn't have a good practice this week. I was very frustrated with how we practiced, and we started the game how we practiced. So we kind of got stronger as the game went on, as we got a feel for them. But good thing for Tucson is they know where they're at now. They know what they got to do to build, and we know what we got. It's early in the season, so there's a lot of football left to play. You lose players, injuries happen, all that stuff. So, it's good for the early in the season, but there's a long season ahead of us. We got a lot of work to do.
KG, Randy here. This team scored a lot of points tonight. This team was scoring a lot of points coming into the night. They were really good on defense. But tonight, none of that mattered. Your team went out and just totally dominated them. Why did it look so easy, and why was it just a dominant effort versus this team tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree that it was easy. Early in the game, we were down. We were down 7-0, and then, they stopped us. We stopped them. They stopped us. They got up 7. And, as the game went on, but like I said, the turnovers is what changed the game. The turnovers on this end of the field, we had less than 10 yards to go. It opened up the game. I told Coach Coleman after the game, hey, look, the good news is you know where you're at. You know the moves you got to make. Conditioning is always an issue early in the season. So we're probably a little ahead right now than other teams. But as guys get reps and they play some games, then they'll catch up. Other teams will catch up. So we just got to keep working, keep getting better, get better at the little things. But I thought our special teams, our defense, forced some turnovers tonight that really, got it going. And, both teams are still playing 2 quarterbacks. So both coaching staffs understand it's early in the season, and we're still filling our teams out and seeing who we are and what we're about.
Now that the game is over, Coach, what was it like to coach against the team that you're a co-owner of?
To be frank, while the game was going on, it was just another game. I didn't even think about it. I got to do what's best for the Rattlers. Coach Coleman's got to do what's best for the Tucson, and they'll get better. That's a great coaching staff over there. They did some good stuff early against us that we weren't ready for, and I'm sure they'll go back and look at the film and capitalize. And look, we got a break. When Keith Jones Jr. didn't play, that was a matchup that we were sweating going into the game, and he didn't play. It sounded like he had some, a death in the family, so prayers for his family. But it's unfortunate he didn't play, and I'm sure that when you got a small roster, and Randy can speak to this, when you got a small, like 1-2 players not in the lineup, that can change your team.
Oh yeah, makes a huge difference. So. Yes, absolutely.
Congratulations on the victory. Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy moved to 3-0 on the season.
Yep, St. Patty's Day tomorrow. It's my son's birthday. St. Cody's Day. We're going to have a good day. We're going to go drink some green beer together. He's 12, though. I'll give him some soda pop.
Happy birthday to Cody, my man.
Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy. Rattlers moved to 3-0 on the season. Randy Gatewood, your thoughts on this one?
I'll tell you, they looked as dominant as I've ever seen them. Tonight they just, all phases of the game, they had it going. Like he said, they started off slow, but they really went out and took it to them early, punched them in the mouth early. And like he said, Tucson just never really got going. And I don't know if conditioning played such a huge part in it or if it was just the Rattlers are that much better than them right now. But this was the first of 4 meetings, and hopefully Tucson will go back now, look at the drawing board, and really make some adjustments in the areas where they need to be. Football is a game of adjustments, and I feel like if they don't do that, then when the next time goes around and you have to deal with a team like Arizona, this is the results you get. So they have to go back to the drawing board, but I tell you what, take nothing away from Arizona. They can hit you in many ways, and that's what they did tonight, and look for them to go on and continue to have success this year.
Well, that'll do it for us here tonight at Talking Stick Resort Arena. For our talented crew behind the scenes and Randy Gatewood, I'm Chris Harris saying so long. Arizona Rattlers get the big win over the Tucson Sugar Skulls, 63-28 the final. Have a good night, everybody.